Right now, as you're watching this, the money in your bank account is losing value. Not because of something you did, not because of a bad investment, not because you spent too much on coffee. It's losing value because of a system you were never taught to understand. And that system runs 24 hours a day, whether you're paying attention or not. You feel it, don't you? Every time the grocery bill is somehow higher than last month. Every time. Your rent goes up while your paycheck stays exactly the same. Every time you feel like you're working harder and somehow falling further behind. You are not imagining it. You are not bad at money. And you are not alone. But here is what no one tells you. And I mean no one. Not your school, not your employer, not your bank. The financial system you live inside was not designed to help you build wealth. It was designed by people who already had it. And once you understand how it actually works, you can start using it instead of being used by it. Stay with me for the next 10 minutes. Because what I'm about to show you is going to change the way you look at every dollar you earn, every dollar you spend, and every dollar you let sit still. Let's start with a number. Since the year 2000, average wages in the United States have risen by about 60%. 60% sounds impressive. Except housing costs went up over 200% in that same period. Healthcare, 150%. College, tuition, close to 180%. So yes, your paycheck is technically larger than it was 25 years ago. But the things you need to buy with that paycheck have outrun it by a mile. You're making more money and you can afford less. That is not a paradox. That is the system working exactly as designed. Economists call this real wage stagnation. It means your income number goes up, but your actual purchasing power, what that income can buy you in the real world, barely moves. Or, in some cases, goes backwards. While that was happening, the wealthiest 1% of Americans saw their total net worth triple, not grow steadily. Triple. That is not a coincidence. That is not talent. That is not people working 3 times harder. That is compounding structural advantage. And it has been running in the background your entire adult life. And here is the part that almost nobody talks about. The people falling behind are not failing. They are losing a race they did not know they had entered. On track that was tilted before they showed up. To understand why, you need to understand 3 things: inflation, debt, and the compound interest trap. And I'm going to explain all 3 in plain language, no economics degree required. Inflation. First, when you hear that inflation is running at 3 or 4%, here is what that means in your actual life. If you have $10,000 sitting in a standard savings account earning 0.5% interest, which is completely normal at most big banks, and inflation is running at 3.5%, you are losing 3% of your real purchasing power every single year. Your account statement says $10,000, but that $10,000 buys you less than it did 12 months ago. You feel safe. You are not safe. Your money is quietly evaporating while you sleep. Now, debt. The average American household carries over $100,000 in total debt when you add up mortgages, car loans, student loans, and credit cards. And here is the trap inside the trap. You're not just paying back what you borrowed. You are paying interest on the balance every single month. And if you only make minimum payments, that interest compounds, meaning interest gets charged on the unpaid interest. A $5,000 credit card balance at 22% annual interest, which is completely average right now, can end up costing over $12,000 if you pay it down slowly. You borrowed $5,000. You returned $12,000. Where did that extra $7,000 go? It went to the bank as profit because of A, number printed in small text in a terms and conditions. Document you signed years ago. This is not illegal. This is not hidden. It is just never explained to you. In plain terms, at the right moment, in a way. That makes you understand what you are actually agreeing to. And that brings us to the third piece. The way the system makes sure you stay in it. I want to be very clear about something. I am not about to tell you there is a secret society of billionaires orchestrating all of this from a mountaintop somewhere. That is not how it works. And honestly, the real version is much more disturbing because it does not require anyone to be evil. It just requires a system that is built to serve certain interests and has been for a very long time. So who benefits? Banks and financial institutions charge you 22% on your credit card debt while paying you 0.5% on your savings. That spread, that 21.5% gap, is not an accident of the market. It is their entire business model. It is how they made a combined $300 billion in profit last year alone. Since 1978, CEO compensation at major American corporations has risen by more than 1,300%. Average worker pay in the same period, about 18%. Both groups showed up to work every day. Only one group rewrote the compensation rules along the way. And the mechanism behind all of it, behind the tax policy, the financial regulation, the labor law that shapes all of this, is lobbying. Corporations and financial institutions spend billions of dollars every year making sure the rules stay written in their favor. Not through conspiracy, through paperwork, through policy, through the kind of slow, boring structural influence that never makes a headline but compounds every year, just like interest. Here is the thing about all of this. None of it is secret. It is in public filings, congressional records, Federal Reserve reports. It is just presented in language designed to be unreadable, in documents designed to be unread, by institutions with very little incentive to make it clear to you. An informed borrower is a less profitable borrower. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is a business incentive. Here is the part of this video that changes things. And I want you to actually hear it, not just let it wash over you. Every single mechanism that is currently working against you, inflation, compound interest, capital gains, asset ownership, can work for you. The rules are the same rules. They were never secret. They were just never handed to you in plain language. The wealthy do not earn money. They make money earn money. And once you understand the mechanics of that, you can start doing it too, even at a small scale. Here's the first thing. Compound interest is the exact same force that is killing people in credit card debt. But run in the other direction, it builds wealth with almost no effort. $200 a month invested at an average annual return of 7%, starting at age 25, becomes over $500,000 by retirement. That same $200 a month, starting at 35, around $240,000. You save the same amount of money total. You just start 10 years later, and you lose more than half the outcome. Not because of anything you did wrong, because of arithmetic. The second thing. Right now, high-yield savings accounts are paying 4 to 5% annual interest. That is more than current inflation rates, meaning your money is actually growing in real terms for the first time in years. If your savings are sitting in a traditional bank account earning 0.2%, you are leaving hundreds of dollars per year on the table for doing absolutely nothing. Moving a savings account takes 10 minutes online. There is no catch. There is no risk. There is just an outcome most people have never been told to look for. The third thing, and this is the one that actually matters for the long run, there is a difference between how the government taxes money you earn by working and money you earn through investments. Your regular income can be taxed at 22, 24, even 37%, depending on how much you make. Long-term capital gains, money made from investments held over a year, are taxed at 15% for most people, sometimes 0. This is not a loophole. It is policy, written into the tax code, available to anyone who knows it exists. and structures their finances accordingly. This is why wealthy people do not simply earn large salaries. They own things. And ownership is taxed differently than labor. That gap is the single biggest financial advantage available to anyone in this country. And it is entirely legal, entirely accessible, and almost never discussed in plain terms. I'm not going to tell you to skip your morning coffee or hustle 18 hours a day. That narrative is designed to make you feel like your financial situation is a personal character failure. It is not. You have been navigating a system that was built for someone else and doing it without a map. Here is your map. 4 steps. Start any of them this week. First, know exactly where your money goes. Not roughly. Exactly. Write it down. Look at your last 3 bank statements. You cannot make good decisions about something you have not looked at clearly. Second, move your savings. If your money is in a traditional savings account paying less than 1%, open a high-yield savings account today. It takes 10 minutes, it is FDIC insured, and it is the lowest effort financial improvement most people can make right now. Third, if you are carrying high-interest debt, paying that off is your highest return investment. Paying off a 22% credit card balance is a guaranteed 22% return. There is no stock, fund, or investment in the world that reliably beats that. Pay it down aggressively before you invest anywhere else. Fourth, start investing something. $50 a month, $100 a month, into a low-cost index fund inside a tax-advantaged account, like a Roth IRA or a 401k if your employer offers one. The goal is not to get rich fast. The goal is to get money working in your direction, even a small amount, so that you are not entirely dependent on trading your time for income for the rest of your life. The system we are all inside was written by people who understood it completely. It has been running in the background of your financial life since before you had a bank account, and it will keep running whether or not you understand it. The difference, the only difference, is whether you understand it too. You just took the first step. If this changed how you see something, share it. Someone in your life needs to hear this. Subscribe if you want more, and drop a comment. What part of this hit you the hardest? I'll see you in the next one.